Welcome to the Wolverine TV. I'm Clayton Safey with EJ Holland from thewolverine.com. You can check us out at thewolverine.com. Join our premium message board. Get all of our premium content using promo code BLUE60. Get 2 months free trial of all that premium content. And shout out to our sponsors, Lewis Jewelers, for helping make this video possible. But EJ, let's break down the top 5 Michigan targets at the Pylon 7-on-7 down in Orlando over the weekend. You were in sunny. How was the weather? Sunny Florida last weekend?
It was rainy the first day and then
Okay.
extremely hot the second day, and then I got back to Chicago and now we're in the middle of a snowstorm. So
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
all sorts of wet.
Okay. So rainy slash sunny Orlando, Florida. So let's get into the top guys. And Caleb Brown will be the first on this list. A kid that obviously we've talked about quite a bit because he's such a big Michigan target, because he's such a good player, and obviously he seemed to impress you again over the weekend. Your thoughts on him, the 4-star athlete out of the Chicago area? So again, you've seen him quite a bit. Your thoughts on him from what you saw?
Yeah, with Caleb, we've talked about him so much. Like you said, he's kind of like a regular on the show just because I see him so often. Even here in Chicago, and when I'm not in Chicago, I happen to bump into him. Caleb is an extremely explosive athlete. He's a guy that rushed for 2,000 yards last year. In fact, Mike Hart, one of his first recruiting calls was to Caleb Brown. Caleb actually doesn't have interest in playing running back at the next level unless it's, more of a package situation. He's set on being a slot receiver and he's damn good at it. He's one of the best in the country. I mean, watching him in the 7-on-7 circuit, he's almost impossible to cover one-on-one. Like I've said in the past, he's a guy that's kind of in the same mold of a Golden Tate or a Rondell Moore, that top end speed with that compact build that you can do so much with on offense. I really like the Golden Tate comparison more than Rondell Moore, just because Golden Tate was also a running back at the high school level that converted to slot, and obviously he did a ton for Notre Dame and was a big difference maker there. And I think Caleb could do the same in an offense like Michigan's, one that utilizes athletes that are quick in short space, and that's Caleb Brown. So he's one of the top 100 prospects in the country, and he definitely showed out in Orlando.
Next guy, Sharif Denson, elite 2023 corner, who impressed you. So moving over to the other side of the ball, a defensive guy, but I guess what'd you see out of him?
Sharif Denson's a new target for Michigan. He received an offer from Coach Helu. Is that how we're saying it? Helo now? I don't know
Yeah, I'm
exactly
saying
how to
Hilo.
pronounce
I've been saying Hilo.
it. Helo. Okay, we're gonna go
I
with
don't know if that's
Helo. We
right
need
though.
to we need to figure that out
Yeah.
though. So we should know that by now. But Coach Helo sent out a new offer to Sharif Denson out of the Jacksonville area. As you can see, kind of in the picture here, he's a little on the skinnier side, but he has room to add some muscle to his frame. He's only a 2023, already has a ton of other offers. He's an Under Armour All-American. Thing I liked about him is the way he used his hands, his willingness to be physical, and just how he was always playing with an attacking mentality. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Michigan signee Jaden McBurrows, who the Wolverines pulled out of Florida this cycle. So a lot to like about Denson early on. Excited to see what his interest in Michigan becomes, since he's such a new target, but he definitely checked the box, and you can see why Hilo really likes his skill set.
We talked about this on one of the videos last week, but the amount of offers that Hilo and Maurice Linguist and all these new coaches are throwing out there are crazy, and maybe will cause Michigan to be in on some more kids that maybe they otherwise wouldn't have been. Next guy, Kion Saab, 4-star athlete, 6'2", 195. Seems to be high 4-star type of kid, number 47 in the country. Seems to be one of those more elite kids. Did you see that out of him this weekend, that he is one of the top players in the country?
Yeah, with Keon, he's just such a big looking kid. I mean, even though he's listed at 6'2", I mean, he looks like he's 6'4" because he's so long. I mean, his hands are down past his knees. That's how long he is. He's big as well. He has a really strong frame, especially in his upper half, and then his speed. He can come downhill in a hurry. If Michigan still ran its previous defense, he would be a prime candidate to be a Viper. I think he can spend a lot of time down in the box as more of a bigger box safety, but he also showed great instincts and cover skills, ball tracking ability at that safety position. He plays for NLG, which is one of the top 7-on-7 programs in the Northeast, and I know he gets really good training within that program. So I think he's already polished. He's not very raw at all. What you're getting in Kion Saab is what you're getting. You know that he has a really high floor. And again, he's just a really physically impressive looking prospect. And it's not hard to see why he's one of the top 50 overall recruits in the 2022 class. As far as his recruitment, he recently released his top schools. Michigan was one of those top schools. He had a previous relationship with Don Brown, but he did get on the phone with Jim Harbaugh recently, and Harbaugh assured him that the new Michigan defensive staff would be on the phone with him soon. So I would expect that to happen, either this week or right after signing day.
It's kind of another storyline with this new staff is just how, some kids, you got to bridge the gap of contact. If a guy like Don Brown was your primary recruiter, at some point the contact has to be turned over to somebody else. So for him, sounds like that's the plan, but it's an interesting storyline to watch with some of these kids. Holden Greer, a 3-star pro-style quarterback in the class of 2022 out of Savannah, Georgia. What'd you see out of him? Can he spin it a little bit?
Yeah, Holden, he's only a 3-star prospect, but he's actually one of Michigan's top 2022 quarterback targets. We haven't talked a lot about, the favorites at the quarterback position, mostly because there is no clear-cut favorite to be Michigan's 2022 quarterback take. But Holden is definitely a kid we need to talk more about. Again, he's only a 3-star guy, but based on what I saw at the tournament and what he puts on film, and you look at the teams that have offered as well. Like, I think this is a 4-star guy. I would rank him kind of in that 5.8, low 4-star range. Some of the things that really stood out to me, number one is his deep ball. He has a really beautiful deep ball, almost looks effortless when taking deep shots, and his deep ball accuracy in general. A lot of those deep shots were on point. I do think he can work a little more on recognizing coverages. His short to intermediate accuracy also needed a little work. But I just love his arm strength. I love his leadership ability. I really like what he can become. His footwork's great. So if he can work on some minor things, he has a chance to be a real riser in the rankings. And, he has a good relationship with Jim Harbaugh. They actually keep in constant contact. He was in frequent communication with Ben McDaniels before he got canned. But despite McDaniels no longer being on staff, Holden told me he still has high interest in Michigan and would like to visit whenever the dead period comes to an end. So hopefully it does come to an end at some point.
Yeah, it feels like it may never, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see with that. The last guy on the list, 2022 4-star athlete Jaleel Tucker. Rated as a 5.8 out of San Diego. What'd you see out of him over the weekend?
I love Jaleel Tucker. He was my favorite recruit that I saw all weekend. Going into the event, from my previous beat at Texas, I have a lot of sources out west. And a guy they kept telling me about was Jaleel Tucker. They're like, hey, you need to keep an eye on Jaleel Tucker. Like, he has a Michigan offer. He's legit. And, a lot of people haven't seen Tucker because he's down in San Diego. So he's away from, Los Angeles, where the majority of talent is in Southern California. And so a lot of our national guys don't get down to San Diego to see him. I think this is a top 250 prospect without a doubt. Like, it's super easy. He's tall. He's long. His speed is outrageous. Like I saw him just kind of bait people at the cornerback position and let people get past him on purpose. And then his makeup speed was like, oh my God. And then he would just track the ball and pick it off or deflect it. I love what he brings to the table as a corner. He also played some wide receiver and made plays there. He led his team, Dream Chasers, to the championship game and won the title at the event. But I think Tucker's a guy that's going to just shoot up the rankings once people actually see him in person, because he has all the traits of a tall, long, elite level corner. He is a prospect that Jim Harbaugh personally offered himself. So Harbaugh, before the dead period, actually made a trip down to San Diego and extended the offer to Tucker. Since then, Tucker told me his communication with Michigan has been kind of on and off. Obviously, we'll see if the new staff decides to make a push, but with the pre-existing relationship there, I definitely think they should, because Tucker, again, really checked all the boxes for me.
I mean, if there was no dead period, Jim Harbaugh's got a house in San Diego. He could have, gone right down and seen him. But again, that dead period,
Right.
continues to rage on. But yeah, sounds like a ton of talent down in Orlando over the weekend. So those are the 5 best recruits that EJ saw there. Stick with us at thewolverine.com. You also put up a bunch of superlatives from the weekend as well that people can check out at thewolverine.com. That is a free story, but if you want to get all the insider content, the entire scoop, which he also put up from EJ's time down in Orlando, make sure to use the promo code BLUE60 for 60 days of our premium content for free. We'll see everyone next time.